ROSTERMANIA has come to life in the last 2 to 3 weeks, but there's been a move we've known was coming since the latter half of 2024, with NIKO deciding to part way with G2 and join FALCONS. I'm Astronaut CS, let's talk about it. It's a massive move and a massive risk for NIKO, leaving a G2 side that had really shown big upticks in form and performance, being rated the #1 team on the global Valve ranking system at the end of the year. It's a risk because there was no guarantee about the rest of the roster other than the Magisk, and with the news that the two main targets for the Falcons lineup in Monsoon and Jinfa would not be joining, it seemed that this potential super team that was on the cards had diminished. Plus, the potential signings then of Jambo and Ujox really had the community heavily worried for NIKO and his choice to leave a star-studded roster that was challenging for titles for an up-and-coming project that the hopes of even making the major would be a massive task. Now though, the core of Heroic in Kixan, Dexter and Tessus, who had a very highly impressive Shanghai major run after having to rebuild from the bottom after the stabby antics in the early part of this year, have been transferred to this new Falcons roster. On paper, it seems that the score hasn't been particularly downgraded when you think that it's now Magisk in for Shush and NIKO in for Nerds, but there were plenty of rumours that Dexter was actually going to be benched before this roster move was going to be made, and also the coach of Heroic saw that it seemed to be very influential alongside Kixan and leading that group to their success in Shanghai would not be joining this roster, and instead it would be the 4 times major winning coach Zonic in place. I think that there is potential on this roster to really cause some damage, but when you looked at the rumoured roster before the collapse in signings, this does seem like a downgrade. Even if the team has success in the upcoming season, I still believe that if they're able to, they would in a heartbeat, I'm honestly, to replace Dexter, and they would look to upgrade Tessus also, even though his major performance was pretty impressive. Further, when you look at Kixan's career as an IGL, although it's pretty good for this stage in his career, there's a hesitancy because he has never led any players to the caliber of NIKO and Magisk, who have both had extensive and really successful careers. The egos on this team is the worry for me, not when it comes to his leadership, but rather how his vision on the game and how he wants to lead this team is affected by the big voices of NIKO and Magisk, and will that cause conflict in the leadership role? You also have to think that surely this is Zonic's last chance to really cement his position as this god tier coach, or will he just be that one-trick pony? Because since he left Astralis, he just hasn't had anywhere near the level of success that someone with the amount of accolades that he has had as a coach should have achieved since leaving. There's also this question of, will there be clashes in ideologies between the leaders of the team, and will they gel? It's a little bit reminiscent of when the Falcons signed the N-Score previously, and the wheels on that bus fell off so quickly compared to the performances that the N-Score players were having before they joined this lineup. Surely though, if you have already in your mind that you're going to be replacing Dexter and Tessus at the end of the season, that you'll need to keep Kixan to keep that core, because that is the reason they've signed this Heroic course for that spot. So theoretically you'd want to build a strong foundation with Kixan and aim to make him a very strong IGL, which I think he does have the capability to do. Going back to NIKO, you feel that although he's been pursuing this hope of winning a major his entire career, that he might have to wait just until at least the latter half of this year to have his first chance under the new Falcons flag. And yet that is still dependent on what this Falcons roster shapes up to be. One thing for certain though is that you would think that this Falcons have guaranteed themselves a core, as I said before, to attend this Austin major taking place in June, and then after that they could look to try maybe upgrade the few pieces, as in Dexter and Tessus further on. But unless this team has a catastrophic fall off, surely their name is already written in, especially with the major teams being expanded to 32 rather than 24. It will be exciting to see this lineup shape up for the upcoming reasons, with a couple potential role clashes and on different maps. It'll be interesting to see how this team can perform. I think it's one that will take a little bit of time, but we're going to see how they do it at the upcoming Blast Bounty event, and kind of see how their season will shape up to go. And I'll probably do a demo review of them after the Blast Bounty to see how they line up, so keep your eyes peeled for that after the first event. So let me know, are you happy with this or are you frustrated? Probably like NIKO was when he found out the news. Let me know in the comments. And once again, thank you for watching.